Well, we're here at Vicarage Road after what was a thrilling Premier League afternoon between Arsenal and Watford. The home team getting an equaliser late on. It finished Watford 2, Arsenal 2. And maybe the Hornets just feeling, Stephen, that they were unlucky not to get all 3 points.
Yeah, no, I think definitely it would have been deserved if they had got it. They pressed, they played really well. They had some great attacking options, some unbelievable chances inside the box where if they had just put them either side the goalkeeper, there would have been goals. And I reckon they feel unlucky not to have come away with 3 points in this game.
The good stuff, I suppose, for Watford was their attacking. Dale Fay really came in, I suppose, showing the form that he showed maybe midway through last season. He was excellent. I thought Tom Cleverley played well off Andre Gray. Andre Gray went off. He maybe didn't have too much of a good game. We saw little snippets of Ismail Assar came off the bench, their record signing. So I suppose up front, the new boss, or the old boss as he was, Quique Sanchez-Flores, he'd be pretty happy enough with his attacking options.
He'd be very happy. Even Pereira coming on there, I think drew the penalty from David Luiz driving into the box. But they've got players that want to run at you, they want to cause you problems. They've got pace. Delafay was excellent, absolutely excellent. His energy levels, but just his intricate play around the box and his directness at just getting him out of the lines. Every time he got it, he was trying to run on him. Not once did he turn away and come back. He turned, got him, drove into the box, was coming inside, having shots. Unlucky to not get a couple of goals myself, and deserved we would have if he had one. Decore, I thought, was excellent, driving forward with the ball. Just lacked a little bit of I don't know.
Finesse, maybe.
Finesse, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And twice, the one that was pulled back to him where he's just swung it and completely missed it, spinning in a circle, and then the other one where he's gone through and goal. So overall, I think Watford will be extremely happy with the way they've played. They'll be disappointed, but when you concede 2 goals against someone like Aubameyang, who knows going to score goals, probably against most teams, you kind of think that's okay. Not okay, but you kind of expect it. But to come up the other end and be creating chances like they did and have opportunities, if they can put more of them away, then they'd be in good position.
Yeah, they've got an experienced keeper there, Ben Foster. He should be okay for the season. They've got maybe problems at the back. I don't know if it's systemic or if it's a thing where they've got the players there that Quique Sanchez-Flores can fix it. I suppose he really needs to get Craig Cathcart back as well.
Yeah.
I watched him during the week playing for Northern Ireland against Germany. He was really good, and he could be the anchor for their defence.
Yeah, no, you would think. I wouldn't think there's anything too. They're not lacking good defenders. They have decent defenders. It's just about probably organisation and getting that midfielder to help out a little bit more, because in the Premiership you do get overloaded a lot. A lot of teams are playing 3 up front and then they'll add into that midfielders running on. So you need to get numbers behind the ball and try and defend as best you can. So organisation is key, and having your players in a system and a shape that suits them is important. So you would think Watford are going to try and learn, and as a team going to defend as a team in a whole. But when you have that attacking threat as well, that's a good defensive option, because teams are wary about how good you are going forward, so they won't commit as many bodies forward because they know that you can counter-attack and catch them. So that's going to be something that they'll have in their arsenal as well.
Would you, and I know it's early days, it's his first game back, Sanchez-Flores, but would you be hopeful he could get them out of this relegation wire they're in at the moment? It's such early days, 2 points on the board after 5 games.
Yeah, it's so early, and for the bottom of the league at this stage of the season as well, it still doesn't really mean much in the, I suppose, the greater scheme of things. But when you look at how good they are going forward and how good they were today going forward, I know Arsenal defensively are probably not the best team in the world, and their 2 goals came from mistakes from, like we discussed before, the 2 most experienced defenders, Luiz and Socrates. So but the attacking threat they had was excellent. They really did. Like, they pulled them apart at times. They could have scored 4 or 5. They really could have, and they looked like they had the bit between their teeth. I don't know whether there was reinvigorated confidence because of the new manager or is that what the influence he's had. But going forward, they look like a team that won't be in the bottom 3.
Now, Arsenal at the other end, they're going for top 4. That's 2 really precious points dropped after dropping points against Tottenham as well. They've dropped 3 at Anfield against Liverpool. It's not looking good for Arsenal, is it?
No, the problem is with Arsenal, even though you have Aubameyang, I think he will save them so many times this season, because he will get goals for them in games where they probably don't deservedly have them, and they're just frail. They seem a bit frail at the back. They seem like they can give opportunities away. Luiz, again, silly, could have given a pen away in the first half, just threw his leg out, did exactly the same in the second half and got caught, and they gave a penalty. Just situations that are going to happen throughout the course of the season where you need those 4 at the back or 3, whatever it may be, just to be solid and consistent. And Arsenal, I don't think, have that consistency makeup with what they have there. So it's going to be tough for them. But like Watford going forward, Arsenal have such a good attacking threat. Pepe, there was glimpses of him today. He looked going past players like Declan. Sometimes, as we discussed before, his final ball was lacking and his finishing was lacking. But You know, he looks like he's got bundles of pace, bundles of energy, great trickery about him, and can cause teams problem. Aubameyang is probably going to be up there for Golden Boot at the end of the season if he stays fit and can continue on in the vein that he is, because he's just such a good option for them, such a good attacking threat, and guaranteed goals pretty much. Lacazette into that mix as well. They've got a lot of goals, their team, and they've got a lot of creativity. It's just, can they stop them going in their end? So we're talking about two different teams that have very similar issues. Arsenal, who are looking for top four, Watford are looking to get out of the bottom three. But if Arsenal want to realistically stay in the top four and get Champions League, they need to be defensively more solid. Torreira, though, I think when he's in that mix, does help out a lot.
But this where does he come? Because he likes Granit Xhaka. He's his club captain, and if you look at it as like a little triangle, you've got the two centre backs and Xhaka sitting in front of them, and they can all drop a clanger. Socrates can drop a clanger. We've seen David Luiz now give away 2 penalties, crucial penalties, against Liverpool and today against Watford. And Xhaka as well, like he throws himself into challenges. Like that defensive pyramid there is so important, yet Arsenal are so unreliable there.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. You're looking for those three to be in defensive players, and for me as a defender, the most important thing is being dependable, being consistent, and they don't offer that consistency all the time, and they're probably the three most important people when it comes to the linchpin for your defensive options. So in a way, Arsenal, it's a tough choice for them, because I think Torreira is very good, and I think he offers just a little bit of tenaciousness in midfield, a bit of aggressiveness, and his mobility around the pitch to stop things is great. But it's an issue for them, and going forward, it's going to be something they have to solve. Whether they can get better as the season goes on, and like I said, with the players we're talking about are very good players. They're players that are excellent and deserve to be in a top team. It's just they're capable of doing something that could cost their team points, and that's what's happened so far this season. They've caught 2 points they've lost 2 points today down to defensive mistakes, simple pass and a defensive error where he's just thrown his foot at the ball and he's running into the box. You know, arguably, what should you do in that position? But stay on your feet is one of the main things. Don't dangle a leg out, and you know, David Luiz is experienced enough to not do that, but he still does them on a regular occasion.
Just to they're turning the lights out here at Vicarage Road, so we'll have to move on. But before I let you go, Stephen, I've got to ask you about the Irish involvement yesterday in the Premier League. Jeff Hendrick, he's been struggling at Burnley to get back into that team. He comes on yesterday, gets a goal, a late goal for Burnley. And what's that going to do for his confidence? Because he really needs to kick on as well, doesn't he?
Absolute world of good. He put in a decent performance with Ireland during the week as well. So he's going to be feeling better for himself. He struggled for game time this season, and he needs to get consistently playing for him to feel back to his best. But coming on in an important game and scoring the goal in the fashion that he did, which was an excellent strike, and what we know he's capable of, and what Dyche will know he's capable of. So for him, it's extremely important, and for us as a nation, we want players that we're going to depend on playing regularly, scoring goals, feeling confident, and coming into international break, just abundance of confidence, and that can feed into the rest of the team. So for everybody going forward, it's important that that's happened, and hopefully now it's going to make him become more of an option for Dyche, where it becomes a starting role.
The issue for Dyche, or sorry, for Jeff maybe with Dyche, is that Dyche is a flat four midfield, and maybe Hendrick's best position, he talked about it, the Sweden game, Euro 2016, it's that kind of attacking midfield. So it's where does he find a place in that Burnley team? Yeah,
it's hard, because that's what Dyche wants, two midfielders in there that suit a 4-4-2, that are up and down and offer options both forward and attack. And you could see in the Switzerland game, Jeff got done for the goal when he's driving forward, Shara's driving forward with the ball. Jeff has him, and then he just switches off, and there's little ones here around the corner, and he doesn't follow him into the box. So there'll be little things like that Jeff will have to improve on if he wants to play in a 4-4-2, because as a 4-4-2 midfielder, you don't have, even the Ireland game, we had 3 in there, but we still didn't have the luxury of someone covering that space because we were overrun. It was a centre back this time around now, but if you're in a 4-4-2, less so, because you don't have that extra man in there to give you that help. So it's something that Jeff is going to have to learn quickly, and Dyche knows his qualities, he knows what he's capable of, and he does trust him. Jeff is just going to have to continue on, work hard, get his head down, and like I said, the goal yesterday is going to do him confidence no end.
Another man involved in that game was young Aaron Connolly, coming in off the back of a very successful couple of weeks with the Irish under-21s. It's his second Premier League appearance. First was a baptism of fire against Manchester City. I think he played 6 minutes yesterday. I know he made a bit of a mistake, but just from your own experience, Stephen, even though he's getting those maybe 5-6 minutes here and there, how important is that for a young player of his, the stage of his career that he's at now?
It's just when you're that young and you're getting involved in the first team, you're feeling this manager is confident enough to have me on the bench, and then you're thinking he's confident enough to put me on in these games. So he's confident enough to put him on in an important match when the scoreline is extremely fragile. So he obviously feels like he's good enough and capable of having a mentality to be able to deal with those situations. So from his point of view, he's probably going to look back at the game or think about what he did wrong, because that's what you do. You analyse it, and if it was kind of involved in their goal, but you got to be thinking the manager has shown confidence in me. He's had me involved regularly. I've come off the bench now. I'm in and around the first team. If my performance level is high enough, or if there's an injury or there's an opportunity, I might get an opportunity to start here and make a stamp for a regular place. And like I said, as a young player, it's crucial that you're getting some game time and you're feeling like the manager wants you in and around the team.
Great stuff, Stephen. Well, listen, we'll hopefully meet you again during the season for another game. But brilliant stuff here at Vicarage Road, and we'll talk to you again during the week.